Hello, welcome. It's been a minute. I will have to record this in. Let's see. Yeah, and hopefully it'll upscale better when I put it to 4K. But hello, today. Sorry for the setup right now. It's in a remote location. Anyway, so I've been doing a lot of. Now that I have pretty much slowed down my traveling, I have to develop literally terabytes of files. And even on a nice MacBook M3, um, yeah, the real hurdle is just the RAM. But I need a MacBook with, and it just can't be too expensive because yeah, I mean now I realize that I might need like a over $12,000 MacBook. I have to get like the maxed out MacBook. I'm using the MacBook Pro too. But anyway, I digress. We are going to talk about creating film with digital. Now you might be wondering, what are you talking about? That is impossible, actually. Well, today I think I have discovered how to, but of course, um, this is, of course, my subjective opinion. So, take it with what you will. But I think it is only available and only possible due to the global sensor in an a9iii. So, if Nikon needs to make one, I don't know why they didn't. Anyway, it would have, cannibalized a red camera or something. But global sensors are the closest thing that we have today for true light gathering. What do I mean by that? Okay, so a lot of my current videos that I've been doing lately is talking about time lapses, which we are seeing right now. So I'll hit play on it. But this is a time lapse of just a boat in the very off distance, and then this is just waves rolling through. Now, as you can see in this very grainy image, uh, that is just a still from it. And then this is the GIF I created, which is about 2 minutes, a little less than 2 minutes. I guess I should loop it right. I don't even know if you can. Anyway, I think I can loop it if edit. But oh yeah, loop. Okay, I'll put this on loop. But essentially, this file of a time lapse, excellent to have as your background for your monitor, etc. Really, really high quality. And I think you are seeing a very grainy version, because even if you zoom in, still really, this is very passable, I think, for most machines. I think most people aren't even on the 2K DCI, or they're not even using a 4K monitor on a nice TV like an OLED. Oof, because I was at my friend's. Um, I'll have some pictures and videos of that once I process those images. I got a, I got an ant like fighting like a little another insect, and then it might be a termite or something, and then it killed it, and then it was carrying off his dead carcass across, and I got it all on 6,000 by 4,000 image. So excellent stuff, I tell you what. Amazing nature. I felt like I was on planet Earth. But anyway, so to create this image, you need a global sensor, and then you need to just take a bunch of photos. Um, you could use the older Minolta lenses, or you could use the new ones. if you want the film-like look, like I said, is that you need, excuse me, is that you need um, a lens that isn't harsh. Now, why am I even using, like, for example, right now I'm using the Minolta 20mm f2.8. It's just not harsh on the look. I know that on the newer cameras you can do like the soft skin filter, but it just looks like a slop of a mess, and it's like subtracting light and subtracting image. So I don't think it's really, it doesn't look genuine. Like you can obviously tell that, oh, this person used skin smoothing. Um, and I, even on the lowest setting, I still don't like it anyway. Uh, so, um, sorry, I'm kind of on a tangent. I'm trying to do this all in one go. I got like 1 hour of footage I can film on, but I pretty much just did a time lapse of about, I think this one was about 3,000 something images. I'm also rendering right now another one, so if it wants to render correctly. So that's just like one of the negatives about using a $2,000 laptop. This retailed at 2,000. Of course, I did not pay that much money. I bought it when it was on sale, and then had discount through Micro Center, etc. But even using a $2,000 retailed laptop, MacBook M3, it's not enough power, or the Sony software sucks butt. Because I also rendered it through the Apple's GIF rendering. It results in a .mov file instead of a .mp4, and then it's all right, but sometimes it like pre-ends itself. Like I don't know what it is, but it uses like literally gigabytes of data. So some files could be like 4 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes for something of like 2,000 images when I did a high res, ProRes render. And sometimes it doesn't do it fully. So like sometimes it might do like the minute or something, but then the actuality should be like 2 minutes 30 seconds. So that's really, it quits and then it assumes. So like it's, I don't know, with Apple it's kind of Apple software is also like, it quits and then it just ends it and then it assumes that it's correct, but it's not. So the only thing I have to do is run it through Sony's Imaging Edge. And I tried it on my Windows PC and that one kapoots faster, but I have a cheaper Windows PC. And also the color, when you render an image using different displays, it will result in different color profiles. And yeah, unfortunately, the Apple one is the one I like the most. I also have done it on my um, PDT, but you know, if something you need to use it, that's kind of why I can't rent. It's like you have to. That means you have to like decommission your phone for like 3 hours, and sometimes like I can't really do that unless I go overnight and then I wake up in the morning. So this would have to be like a overnight shoot, like an overnight render. Wow, brings back the days of like rendering stuff and spending the entire day to render something. But yeah, as we can see in this image, for example, using an older lens will also result in a lot of blown out highlights that could not be preserved due to the sun. So the sunlight, you have to take these images where there's a lot of sun. So this is at the beach. Your best bet are those type of things. And I don't know, just look at the image quality of this. Even though you're looking at it is still a 4K size, but it's but yeah, it's a lower quality JPEG. So if your machine cannot render JPEGs well, You can also do the lowest JPEG, I think compression 4. So it's like this tiniest file size. But of course, the 4K in all its glory, it's like, I think if you shoot um like the full 17 megapixels or something, or megabytes, if you do straight out of camera JPEGs, they are slightly bigger files than like 14 or 13 or something, 11, when it does the raw to compress it down to JPEG. You can also do TIFFs, but I'm not going to even try to do TIFFs because that means I need literally terabytes and terabytes of storage just for like a 2-minute GIF, and I don't think it's worth the effort or the expense. Maybe down the line when I have more time to do so or a more powerful machine. But just looking at this, you can actually see the true light gathering. So when you zoom in real close, you'll see that there are like these little things, like I said, with light gathering that you get from a film camera or film video. This is like a really nice silent film look where it is individually capturing those photons, and then some parts of it, even though it's like a noise, right? It's the noise from it, but the noise is so in a film, for example, when you have a high ISO film, it'll be grainier because like the chunks of silver or whatever thing is on the film will render out that image quality correctly, but or it'll just reflect upon real light, so that when you put those film negatives together to make that film roll, like the film strip, to make like a 10-second image, let's say it's 24, so 240 images, right? 240 film negatives, and then you play it, it'll have those little discrepancies of light gathering that does not gather due to the shutter timing, and amongst other things too. But because like even one film negative is not going to be entirely perfect, if that makes sense. So when you put it all together, but it looks natural, right? Because it's like a chemical process. Now, on the a9iii, it is not a chemical process. It's like, electronics and stuff. So it's whatever the sensor is reading. But because the sensor can read so fast, and at least it appears to our eyes, at least, right? To the computer's screen as well, it's going to render out a really, really nice looking noise. So I think at least because I've also shot this in 4K quality as well. With I think 4K 30. I did 4K 30, 300 megabytes per second. So like the intra 4K thing, and it actually looks more harsh, and it looks more not like it's good, but it's not like the full sensor readout thing of like high imagery. Like just look at how the waves crash. Like it looks like it's a film camera. Now this also helps, like I said, you know the lens you use. This was the cheap Minolta f4 35 to 70 millimeter macro lens. So maybe of course you gotta like, I'm just trying a lot of old Minolta glass because I just want to see which ones can go 80 thousandths of a second and whatnot. But yeah, I just find that this looks so nice, and then yeah, this it's just so calming to look at, to have it on your TV screen, and it's just like a looping GIF of just the waves crashing. It doesn't make any sound. Like I said, I did record the 4K version. I think I did like 13 minutes of it because like I said, I just like having a lot of nice ambient imagery for my just to look at. And fortunately enough, this looks so It just looks so pleasing, and then, like I said, it looks like film. I've been spending so much time. I didn't even edit that much to the images. I think I only changed the brightness a little bit, and yeah, I mean Sony needs to fix their app, but or at least make it more efficient for their um, machines and stuff. But yeah, I think there is a little bit of magic in it because you're getting the global sensor, so it's getting as fast as it. Like I said, true light absorption to the sensor. Could this be done on other cameras? Could be done on the A1 II, I believe, but I think the A1 II at most can only do 60, and then it lags after that. With the A9 III, it doesn't. So do that what you will, because nothing's wrong with the A1 II. Of course, it uses a higher sensor. So that's what I don't get to. It's like this is technically doing A1 II quality video, but using a global sensor. And a lot of people might debate, oh, the global sensor is only necessary, or like, oh, you don't see the changes in the image, but no, you do. And I think it just looks nicer. You can. I've been looking around. I've been trying to research film looks. This one in particular is no, because this one I did it unfiltered, so I didn't change any of the like I didn't change the color or anything. I just shot this as straight out of the camera, essentially, and then I put it into a time lapse. But yeah, I think this is like the closest that I've gone so far for film that looks like genuine film. And yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to do it, so, but it's a lot of fun trying to recreate the look of film, and it just looks so pleasing. I just love looking at it because the only thing really in the focus plane is the waves crashing, and then you see those highlights blown out, but it's like so magical, like because those are pretty much bokeh balls that didn't render a color. So it looks just so nice. Like it looks like it's like diamonds in the ocean. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you learned something from it. Unfortunately, the A9 III went up in price again. I don't understand it because it's like literally it's sitting somewhere in a warehouse, and I don't know. It's so absurd. I can never understand these companies, but the magic is in the A9 III global sensor tech. I just love it. It makes me very, very ecstatic about camera sensors because I just hope that hopefully everyone can look at this kind of images and record it. And there is a realm where you don't have like I'm literally this was shot on a you can buy this lens for like 20 something dollars online when I was checking out the prices and stuff. Intact version for like $100 or something. But for a $20 lens, you're making great images. And yeah, I just can't stop looking at it. It's just so nice to look at. And I think that I hope hope you can. I'm gonna post more of these as well because I'm going to just keep on reiterating the style of it and the look. But yeah, I hope you learned something about recreating film from digitization using the A9 III, a capable laptop, and then a cheapo lens. There's so much magic to be made. from this beautiful world we live in. Beautiful beach, beautiful day. Tesla out.